afternoon and welcome to EBTV's coverage of East Brunswick High School athletics. Today from J. Doyle Field, boys lacrosse against the Falcons of St. Joseph's Metuchen. I'm Ken Saroka, broadcasting all the action to you. Bears come into this game at 2-2. Tough but disappointing loss at South Brunswick, 14-11. Matt DeGuida with 6 goals, in that effort against the St. Joe's team that is 4-4. And it's almost like a tale of two different cities there with the St. Joe's record. When they beat up people, they beat them up. If I read the score correctly, they beat J.P. Stevens 36-5, and they just shut out Sayreville 12-0. So they're coming off a couple of lopsided wins, coming here to J. Doyle to play against the Bears. And we'll be back with the opening draw in just a moment.
1, 2, 3, Bears! 1, 2, 3, Bears! Let's go!
And we're here for the opening draw. East Brunswick is in home white with green numerals, and reverse that for St. Joe's. Stephen Pepe is going to take the draw for the Bears. Again, Bears 2-2 coming into this game. Battled on the ground. Pepe had it, picked up by the Bears. Gianfranco DeGuida, long stick midfielder out there for the draws. It's just situational substitutions for the Bears here as they're setting up on offense. Looking high on the outside, Pepe now has it. St. Joe's packing it in tightly on defense. Bears deliberate in their offense. Looking for an angle. Shot, low shot, score for the Bears. Putting it, Nate Devine, number 1. Or was that? I'm sorry, was that? I'm sorry. Yeah, was that one? No, that was number 5, I believe. Sorry. What a hazy day here. Glasses are getting a little bit fogged up here in the press box. So we'll give that to number 5, Ethan Keith. I think was on there. Pepe's going to draw it as the Bears go up 1-0. And St. Joe's will pick it up. Double team. Pressure. Good control there by St. Joe's. Bit of a whack to the leg there, not called. Play on. Now St. Joe's to set up on offense. Keeper for the Bears is TJ Lynch, number 17. Bears not interested in chasing at this point in time, as St. Joe's is out close to the 35-yard line. Very deliberate. Trying to get some motion behind the cage. Now trying to draw the Bears out a little bit here. Rolling the cage. Pass inside. Shot, save as Lynch got the stick right in the middle there. And I believe that was a crease violation. So Bears will take back over possession. Marco Budot comes across midfield. Something behind the play. Offside. like. 7. Yeah, somebody forgot to stay behind midfield, and they had 7 offensive players in the attack zone. No turnover for the Bears. Again, Bears not willing to pursue behind the cage. Now they are. Gianfranco De Guida there on defense. I mean, this is definitely a much more deliberate pace than you see the scores that St. Joseph's racked up. I think a 27-2 against North Brunswick to open the season. But good defense is climbing them up inside. Bit of a high check. That shot off the crossbar and goes behind. It'll stay possession St. Joe's. Bit of a running around scramble here. Bears might have been trying to double team. Cage is wide open on that side. Bounce shot, too much of a bounce as it went over the cage. Pass back out, lost, but picked up by Xavier Wadlington, 15 for St. Joe's. Very deliberate approach here. Bounce shot, again, either Lynch got a piece of that and the post or just the post alone. And goes out of play. St. Joe's retains possession under 7.5 minutes to go here, first quarter. Crease violation. Turnover. Bears have possession. Looking to clear. Situational substitutions are the norm here in boys lacrosse, offense, defense, special teams. Coming across is Matt De Guida. Inside shot, save. That was Budot, now picked up by St. Joe's, running on the break. Bears have good numbers back, so St. Joe's has to slow it down. Shot low, and probably again off the outside of the post, or Lynch got a piece of it, knocked it back out to the back line. St. Joe's with possession. Another shot, and you heard it clink off the iron. Maybe got a piece of that as well. On shots, the rule is closest to the ball as it exits the playing field gets the possession. So St. Joe's retained possession, even though they came off kind of weird and came out toward the East Brunswick sideline. Again, Bears not overcommitting, so there's no seams or gaps. The only chances have come after St. Joe's generated offense from behind the net. Surprised no one's back there now. They just have one player kind of circling in front. Weaving, shot, kick save. Rebound comes out and is taken aggressively by Mark Budot. Oh, ball. That was a sloppy play, but good check there. Puts it back on the ground, but St. Joe's is right there to pick it up. And a timeout called. While we have this opportunity with the timeout, trying to remind you that all of the East Brunswick High School athletics action broadcast on EBTV can be found on demand. Go to the EBTV website, ebtv.org, check the video on demand feature where you can find not only East Brunswick High School athletics, but you can also find community programming, school board, township council meetings, as well as other good community programming. And we again thank the EBTV technical crew for over 35 years of service in broadcasting East Brunswick High School athletics. And I'm just wondering if we've been doing with the pandemic a lot of the kind of retro games on the TV. Some of them, yeah, that's always good to see, especially when you recognize. I've been a teacher here 27 years to recognize some of my old students participating in these games. Bears up 1-0 here. Surprisingly defensive effort, but the time of possession has been dominated by St. Joe's, who are getting multiple efforts, getting rebounds and chasing down loose balls. But the friendly neighborhood posts have helped out TJ Lynch, and so far, you know, he's recorded 3 or 4 saves, and the posts have taken care of 3 or 4 other shots, and that's the reason why we're at 1-0. Falcons will take possession. Again, they're working right to left on your television screen in the dark green jerseys with the white numerals. Bears looking to double team the ball handler here. Chase him toward the sidelines. It gets across midfield. Breaks, oh, nice check. But again, they would have called but the possession was picked up again by St. Joe's, so advantage played on. Now, once again, back behind the cage. I haven't seen that much, but they've been successful in creating mismatches, and the Bears defense failed to slide on one time here. Again, just they're content to look around. There's no movement really in the internal, you know, the attackmen aren't really moving that much. Midfielders are doing the bulk of the work here. Bears content just to sit back. They're not wasting much energy on defense here. Nobody's chasing, running around. Vincent Beckler on the outside, probably getting the most work out there. Pass inside. That pass was really low. It was about hip high. Went right through the crease and out. Bears will get possession. Less than 4 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Ethan Keith brings it across. Looking. Again, good double team there. As the Bears didn't even have all of their players across in the offensive set. Now that they do, we'll see if they can generate any kind of offense. Ben Solimini out there on the far side. Passes it over to Matt DeGuida. And the Bears are just playing around the horn here. No players inside. So you're trying to create a quick mismatch. Slide out. Again, just kind of waiting for it. Now, might see a play called. A bit of an isolation right here. Shot low and to the outside. Bears will retain possession. St. Joe's keeper Michael Kulikowski. Without a secondary movement there, the Bears are just going to run right into traffic as the double teams come quick and easy. That shot was muffled down, and follow through. On the follow through, it looked like Brennan Quirk kind of carried through and waylaid the other player here for St. Joe's, so St. Joe's will get possession on the foul. Ball's on the ground. Loose ball push, and it'll go back to St. Joe's. Calling out a clear play here. Pass knocked down and picked up. Bears have numbers. Shot low and wide. Had that far corner low. That was Matt DeGuida. And the Bears will trigger the offense from behind the cage. Got aggressive defense here on the part of the Falcons, and they take the ball away. Oh, the ball's still on the ground. And they will take the possession. And you have a long stick defender coming up all the way to midfield. Comes across midfield. Nobody's checking him. And he'll now peel back to get that offensive substitution. Minute and 15 unofficially on the clock. Again, two Bears come out quick on D. That was a muffled pass shot combination there that Lynch was able to pick up, but the clearing pass is on the ground. We've got a bunch of people pushing and shoving there, and we have a loose ball push. And the Bears, again, turnover, gives St. Joe's another opportunity. And honestly, it's, we've played 11 minutes of the 12-minute quarter, and it seems to be that most of this period has been played on the Bears defensive end. Kind of sidearm underhand submarine shot there. It goes wide, well wide, by Christopher Ciccarello. Intercepted. And the Bears will get one quick possession if they hurry. Flag thrown behind the play. I guess one of the St. Joe's players took a cheap shot there. 2-1. And we'll see what the penalty is. It was behind the play. And the referee, close official here, is looking for the guilty party. Said, "Did you see who it was?" I don't know. I don't see who it was. But the flag was thrown, so it must have been something egregious, like a high check or something flagrant. All right, 1-0. Well, we'll take it. That score came with the Bears early on their first or second possession. So the Bears will start man up to start the second quarter. It'll be a 1-minute penalty. So you have the coaching sidelines here. Coach Rory Murray for the Bears. Teams will switch sides here. Or no. So the star of the first quarter for the Bears, TJ Lynch, with a few really good saves. But concerning for Coach Murray and the Bears is the lack of offensive production and the multiple chances that the Bears have been giving away. All right, so the Bears will start with the man up. St. Joe's packing it in like a 5 on the dice, playing wraparound zone. You'll see the Bears try to exploit. They'll look for a shot. Low and wide, but Bears will retain possession. Trying to move the ball around to create a mismatch where there's a seam. Get a player to overcommit on defense. Creates mismatches down low. Look for that dump pass inside to number 20, Zach McHugh. About 15 seconds left in the man up situation. Shot again low and wide. Bears will retain possession as they chase it down. Ball on the ground. To hold behind the play, and that'll give possession to St. Joe's and effectively negate the man advantage situation for the Bears. St. Joe's player has been released from the penalty box. Failure to get it across. Good defense pursuing there. They had a man right in front of their own bench. And you can hear the St. Joe's coaching staff and the players yelling because they had an outlet there, but again, didn't see it coming. Back to 6-on-6 here. St. Joe's a little more aggressive coming after the man behind the cage than the Bears are. Pepe. Oh, low shot. And it was bouncing around, but it was knocked back to the keeper. Overcommit on defense. Creates break opportunity here, but Bears are able to get position to keep them going right to the cage. And St. Joe's will set up on offense. It's much more spread out here. You can see the attempt by some of the players to run right down the middle, right down Broadway on kind of a bombing run, looking for that pass coming from the side. Didn't work, so now different play call perhaps, different isolation, picks being set. You hear the coach yelling, you got to move off ball, meaning there's a lot of people standing around, a lot of offensive players just standing around, not creating anything, not opening up any lanes. And so the Bears can pack it in on defense. And from out where that is, 20 yards away, it's not going to be much of a shot. Opportunity, and a kick save, leg save out there by Lynch. That was John Farino, 39. He has the size, too, to also get in there and muscle his way past some of these defenders. Bears are not blessed with a ton of size on the defensive line. Nice stick check there as the ball pops into the cage, and Lynch will trigger the clear. Chunk pass downfield. Ethan Keith brings it across. Oh, had the chance to be turned around to have a clear opening to the cage. Instead, he brings it out to the outside to the 30-yard line, outside the box, and wasted an opportunity there. Well, not getting the chance to go through. Boom! Oh! DeGuida, who probably had that first goal. I'm sorry, I couldn't see that because there's obstruction and flare standing away. But DeGuida with a nice shot, low, through the 5-hole, bounce shot. Now, on a turf field like this, the bounce shots aren't that difficult. When this field was originally grass, there would be worn areas in front of where the lacrosse goals were. And the balls would take incredibly strange bounces, especially if the grass wasn't really cut that well. But the Bears go up 2-0 with 7:18 left to go here in the second quarter. I'm Ken Saroka, broadcasting all the action to you of East Brunswick High School boys lacrosse against St. Joe's Metuchen on an overcast, somewhat chilly May day. A little bit of a hold there, not called. Again, until somebody picks it up and the official releases everybody, the other players cannot get involved except the 3-on-3 here. And we're playing, bouncing it around and coming across after all that scrum is the Bears. Keith with a high shot this time. That high shot works if there's movement. That was straight on. Would have been pretty easy to pick up with no traffic in front. And tail of 2 quarters. I mean, the Bears here are working it just as St. Joe's worked it for the first quarter in the Bears' end. And try to work out high, try to see if somebody will overcommit, and then you have a speed burner who can run past. Looking. That pass, that was not a good pass. And we got a bit of a loose ball push there. Play on. And that will be a call for a hold there. So as long as the Bears have possession, we'll play on for the advantage here. Nope, no alley, no way. As, again, Falcons are just packing it in. Second penalty thrown. So we're going to see a 2-man down situation here. We'll see if they're both 30s or 1-minute penalties. But it'll be 6-on-4 in the offensive end. Second one penalty. Yeah, 2 30-second penalties, so 2 technical penalties there. So again, Bears have a 6-on-4. And if you think about hockey, with a 2-man advantage, the idea of finding an open seam here. But you only have 30 seconds, so can't sit and dawdle. Got to find an opening quick to not waste this opportunity on the man up. And both players have been released, so But with a low ground ball submarine shot, Ben Solimini capitalizes, and it's kind of like a power play almost, because the players weren't really back and integrated into the defensive scheme, even though technically they were out of the box. So the Bears are now up 3-0, 4:26 left to go here in the second quarter. Stephen Pepe will take the draw. Again, Bears this quarter moving from right to left on your television screen. And picked up. Long stick midfielder out there covering the draw. Will drop it off and then make his way to the bench to be substituted. Oh, that shot hit somebody in front. An illegal touch on the part of, as that one hit somewhere on the Bear player. One of the Bear players dropped his stick, so I imagine got hit in the hands perhaps with that. Or that shot, the initial shot hit Stephen Pepe, and he's coming off kind of woozy a little bit. Not saying he's concussed or anything, just kind of sore from that. It's a very hard rubber ball. And a good defensive force out there by Matt DeGuida. Again, very deliberate offense here. St. Joe's not willing to commit to go chase, even though they're down 3 goals. That may change as if the lead increases. You have one defender stuck behind the cage. You have 2 basically stuck right at goal line extended. Now you have an isolation play here, trying to dodge through. High shot, and that goes through. Bears closest to the ball here, so they'll have possession. A little bit offhand there. Awkward pass, or it could have been a one-time shot. That's a loose ball push, but play on, advantage as St. Joe's has a break. And Lynch with the save. Maybe getting a little too close, too fancy inside. Shot broken down in front, picked up on the defense. Needs help. And TJ Lynch. And Stephen Pepe will take it. Minute 40 to go here. Bears content to just fling it around the outside, looking for an opportunity to develop instead of force one. Up by 3. DeGuida trying to roll, turns, looking for the double team. We have three on him. Ball hits looked like the crease or hit the post, and eventually picked up by St. Joe's on the defense. Ball knocked down. Oh, that pass was headed cross field, knocked down, but St. Joe's retains possession. Only about 6 seconds left. And that shot knocked down. And just to chunk it down, play by Lynch. And the first half is over, surprisingly, with the Bears up 3-0. TJ Lynch, the star here, coming up with save after save. And we'll be back with second half action in just a moment. Okay, 3-0 our score here at J. Doyle Field. The Bears up on the Falcons of St. Joe's Metuchen. Big star of the first half, TJ Lynch, with at least 6 or 7 saves. So we have our draw here, Stephen Pepe at the midfield. And picked up and controlled. On the ground, picked up, though, by St. Joe's. We'll see if their offensive scheme changes here. They were a little too deliberate, and when they tried to force it inside, they made some passing mistakes. Dump inside and kind of slipping and falling, maybe pushed a little bit there, but the shot goes wide and St. Joe's will retain possession. Good double team there and intercepted by Pepe. We'll take it back to Lynch, and Bears looking to clear here. Oh, and trying to pass it to a long stick midfielder there. Not maybe the best idea, but have a flag thrown there on. It'll be. So it looks like the 2 minute, if I heard that right, 2 minutes worth of penalties there on DeGuida. And they're going to take both penalties at the same time, it looks like. So that's going to put the Bears down 2. So here you're going to look at the Bears defense basically playing 4 on a dice, with St. Joe's to trigger from the far sideline. Boom. And Lynch couldn't get that one. A rocket shot by Christopher Ciccarello from that far side. And 3-1 our score. So mistakes cost them. St. Joe's bench coming alive there, you can hear. And they win the draw. Ooh, bounce shot, maybe Lynch got a piece of that as it goes over the cage. But you can definitely tell momentum here has swung in this early stage of the third quarter. See if the Bears can restore some calm here. A little bit of a slow substitution. I would not have. I would have kept the pedal to the metal. But no, now you give the Bears a chance to get a breath, get set up. Looking to get in front there, triple team. And a save right in the basket, a bounce shot. All right, now the Bears will set up on offense. Pretty much for the first time in the first 3.5 minutes of this quarter. So right on the outside, no pressure. Now the pressure comes out as you have both long stick defenders there coming out on their man behind the cage. That was a low riser shot, but easy to grab. You heard somebody in front here say, there it is, when 20 had the chance, looked like had a good chance there at it. That was Zach McHugh, and then passed it in the middle. Got a break here, knocked down, great defensive play to knock that down, picked up. And back to the safety of TJ Lynch. Again, why is there a long stick in the midfield handling that pass? You know, there should have been a substitution quickly there, or rolling, and a save by Lynch, kicking it out. And they're going to give it to East Brunswick. Four chasing one, and the ball goes out. Bad handle there of the pass. Christopher Ciccarello, the goal scorer for St. Joe's, couldn't handle it on the sideline and gives the ball right back to the Bears. Way out. is Stephen Pepe to Guida. Looking for an isolation. Shot, low shot. That hit the post. Went through, hit the post. That was a submarine shot wide. Straight on, though. Bears retain possession. Zach McHugh will trigger from behind the cage, and they'll bring it out. Bears clogging the middle. Now you have players breaking, and pass is going to go offside as the long stick defender there stepped over the line and tried to knock that ball back into play. Red or blue, that must be a play call. Looking for an isolation here to... Oh, and Lynch probably wants that one back as it skipped low and to the right side and got in. Daniel Bachensky. And creeping back into this with 5:23 left. Bears now have only just a 1-goal lead as the sun now comes out. Big rugby scrum there at midfield, right on the Bear. Push to the side. And before things got messy, Coach Roy Murray called a timeout, just as Bears might have lost possession on that one. So we have a timeout on the field. Just got to remind you that EBTV's coverage of East Brunswick High School athletics is not only live and in person like this, but it's also on demand. So you can go to the EBTV website, ebtv.org, select video on demand, and look up high school athletics from years past even. There is archived games there. In addition to this being broadcast on EBTV live, or not live, but through the normal cable airwaves. I'd like to thank the EBTV technical crew. They come out a couple hours before game time to get this all set up. And they stay to break it all down, edit it out, and get it ready for broadcast, so appreciate them. They've been doing games for at least 35 years, and I've been doing games for about 25 years, it seems. So bringing it to you in high definition. Living color, yeah. Like the NBC Peacock in living color. Okay, so the Bears are going to trigger from the close sideline here, right by the substitution box. So you have 4 defenders close by. Not a wise plan, and it's going to result in a turnover. Loose ball push. Yeah, sometimes it's better, discretion is the better part of valor, as they say, and that is to get rid of the ball instead of trying to be a hero with it. And then you had 3 Falcon defenders collapsing there. Caused the turnover. Again, a much sloppier quarter for the Bears. They totally dominated the second quarter of play. But here, errors, penalties, turnovers, and they have allowed St. Joe's to get back into the game. Late substitution. Somebody forgot to come on. Here, the yelling, reset it. Coaches, St. Joe's coaches did not like the way everything had packed in. Oh, right in front. Boom. That was falling asleep there in defense. Bears defenders were way out high and nobody was down low. So easy pickings there, and Lynch and the defenders there talking about the coverages there in the slides that needed to happen and didn't. And we are tied. So just like that, momentum swings. Started with the penalties that were taken in the first minute of this quarter by DeGuida that led to a man advantage goal. And the Bears now coming up with it, have a break. Yep, the long sticks always have that dream of scoring a goal on a break like that, but shot went wide. Luckily, Bears will retain possession. Bears need to stop the bleeding right here and put one past. They only had one, maybe two good opportunities. Q has a size advantage there he couldn't exploit. Just turn his shoulders in and get past. Run to the cage, nothing happening there as the defense collapses. Oh, that one just dribbled wide. Difficult angle shot in traffic. But sometimes it's what you need. The goalie can't see everything if there's traffic in front. That ball came out. Failure to advance. Good defensive pursuit there from the Bears. DeGuida. We have a penalty flag thrown. So Bears basically have a free play here. Going to set up something while they have the advantage. And you can hear McHugh being told, get out, let Matt go. .30-second penalty. For a bit of tapping on the arm there. So Bears will have a man up with 30 seconds to play here. Again, you look for the defense on St. Joe's to kind of go 5 on a dice, not play a man, but play a zone. Bears on a 30-second penalty like this, one good opportunity perhaps, maybe with a rebound if it goes past. Boom, and there's that opportunity. A low shot to the far side for the Bears Ben Solomini, who has himself 2 goals today. So I believe it's DeGuida with 2 and Solomini with 2. And the Bears go up with 1:25 left to go in this third quarter, 4-3. Now, this is one of the problems that so far in the second half have been these draw controls. Bears have not had a lot of success with that this quarter, right from the opening draw. And Pepe, who got knocked to the ground, picked it up after everybody chases it, and it popped out. And the Bears will set it up. One minute remaining in the third quarter. Situational substitutions going on for both sides here. Somebody without a stick, but Bears could not take advantage of the situation. All that work. And a jailbreak here. Numbers for the Falcons will wind up and fire shot wide with 14.8 seconds remaining. Again, sometimes maybe going a little too fancy, bringing it out all the time. Ball on the ground. Four. No, would not have counted. Would not have counted. And it's kind of hard, you know, if you're concentrating on the ball to see that clock in the far end zone, in the end zone here. But, okay, well, the Bears lose the quarter 3-1, but do have the lead 4-3 as we enter the fourth quarter of play here. EBTV will be back here on the 27th for more lacrosse action. As this season kind of got a late start because of the way the governor pushed the sports seasons around here to try to wait out that holiday break surge in COVID cases. But with the FDA approving the Pfizer shot for 12 to 15-year-olds administration, that would give some hope for the fall sports starting on time if parents get their kids vaccinated and not having any problems with COVID outbreaks. But we managed to get through this year, and I do have some sports in the spring, which is great because we missed covering out here last spring for the lacrosse and for the volleyball as well. We just didn't have a chance to get out. No games, no TV, no broadcasts. But we are here at J. Doyle Field. Again, this is boys lacrosse. The Bears in their home white with green numerals. St. Joe's, the Falcons, in their green with white numerals. I'm Ken Saroka. And there's some big nasty clouds rolling in. Let's hope that just goes right past us, because camera equipment does not react well to rain. All right, they'll switch sides. For the fourth quarter, Bears will be running from right to left on your screen. South to north here at J. Doyle Field. Pepe's been taking all the draws for the Bears. And it squirts on through, and he picks it up. Boom. That's the advantage McHugh has when he turns and got it inside, rolled right in front, put a bouncer that went high up and bounced into the cage, and the Bears put their 5th goal on the board with barely 10 seconds, 8 seconds done in the quarter. That's taking advantage of a situation. Catching them on their heels. Okay, a hold there. Be possession for St. Joe's. Again, St. Joe's very deliberate here. Oh, that was a shot that I'm sure Lynch wanted. That bounced up, and it was not a low shot. It bounced up about hip high. Wide open shot. And you heard somebody yell out, watch the wheel, kind of watching maybe the kind of go around the horn here. And they left enough space for Ciccarello. And Ciccarello's got a couple goals today for St. Joe's. So less than a minute later, Bears give back that goal. And it's 5-4. Another breakout here. And that was like a knuckleball shot. It was bouncing all over the place and twisting and contorting Lynch, who could not come up with the save. It goes over the cage. St. Joe's with possession. Looking again. Nice stick work there to defense to pop that ball out. Not really a shot, but it would have been a dangerous shot for Lynch to handle that close. Bad pass in the middle of traffic. Again, failure to bring it across. Even though there was the interruption there, you have to get it across. Last minute stick work there prevented an easy shot from about the crease. Defense splitting open a little too much here. Not as compact and tight as it once was. There's a nice interception here. And smart move there to give the ball up and get it in the hands of your midfielders and let them bring it across instead of trying anything fancy. Sometimes it's the least you do that works out rather than the most. 9:20 in a 5-4 Bears lead here at J. Doyle Field. GMC battle here between the 2-2 Bears and the 4-4 Falcons of St. Joe's Metuchen. Just deliberate. Ethan Keith here, trying to get a pass, trying to come across his body. Shot was Not on Cage. A left-handed shot coming across like that. Difficult to kind of get that long side angle when moving. DeGuida. That was an attempt to go right down in front. Bears looking to cause the turnover here, but St. Joe's will come out. Downfield pass. And they tie it up. Again, the holes in the defense can't allow somebody back behind there like that. And tying up the score here, Michael Cansfield. Can't allow somebody to get behind you. Ball you, man. Gotta know where your men are and mark them up. That was a nice pencil, meaning a nice move to get out of that traffic area there. Come up with the ball. Bears can now set it up. Looking for an opening down the middle, but losing possession there on the ground. So Meany picks it up again. And will leisurely take it behind the cage. 7 minutes left. Again, a little bit of carelessness here. Just because you're out there 30 yards from the cage doesn't mean you can be sloppy with the ball. But Q doesn't know where it is. We'll corral it close to the sideline there. You have an attack man out there in the midfield. A little out of position. Solomini. Double clutches. That one was high, short side. Looked like he double clutched on that lost possession. Maybe got a little stick work there by the defender. And maybe that threw off the goalie. And Solomini has the hat trick today. And the Bears go up 6-5 with 6:05 left in the fourth quarter. Bears need, at minimum, to get possession and run some of this clock down. They don't need St. Joe's to come back with a quick goal here, as happened the last time. Okay. Possession won by Pepe. And that's the way McHugh has to use his advantage to hide out there and sneak, and then got behind the layer of defense. Great pass inside by Keith, and all McHugh did was turn and fire and rip it, and for him, that's the second goal of the game. Timeout. St. Joe's. Wow. So again, this is the momentum swings back in this case in favor of the Bears. And it looks like those big rain clouds are going to pass just to the east of us. I don't want to speak too soon, but we only have 5 minutes left to go in this game. All righty. Again, we need this draw control here and possession, at least, again, to wind some of that clock down. Okay. Dave Ambrosi is producing this from the booth and checked his weather on the phone and said, well, looks like we're going to be good. Okay. Pepe, who has a height disadvantage here against the taller St. Joe's guy, has to use his leverage to get that ball, and pops it out. And up with it. Gotta get in the box, move it. Penalty on the play. Advantage play on, and Ethan Keith puts the 8th goal on the board for the Bears. That one I would have liked to have seen in instant replay here. I'm going to go back and see that, because that was the kind of forward momentum and just kind of rolling through it. Well, you put it on now. And the penalty being enforced, a cross-check, a 1-minute cross-check penalty there. So the Bears could also here have an opportunity to post another quick goal on the board, as St. Joe's is going to play shorthanded. Uh-oh. Solimini comes back. A nice little poke check there. And the Bears can now take advantage and put it on offense. Bounce shot. Again, off the crossbar, it looked like. And situational sub here. Working it behind the cage. Now Solimini out to Pepe. Bears looking for an opportunity. Catch somebody sleeping, and late in the game like that, getting McHugh behind the line of defense there, paying a little more attention to him now. 29 on St. Joe's, paying a little more attention to him. Penalty is over. Pepe, the shot, a bounce shot. It goes high, tucks it under the crossbar. Seems like everything's going in here for the Bears with 4:21 left, up 9-5. That shot, true bounce. And again, we're talking about being on the field turf here, the true bounce. And that came kind of tucked right over the shoulder and right under the crossbar for the 9th East Brunswick goal. So at this point in time, again, possession off the draw. And if you don't have a clean break, take a minute down before you attempt a shot. Limit the number of possessions St. Joe's gets. East Brunswick again coming up with the draw control. Solimini. And that's the break we're talking about as the defense just parted. And Solimini puts one right at the feet of the goalie. And that's the 10th goal. So after being tied 5-5, Bears roll off 5 goals in quick time to take a 10-5 lead. And St. Joe's wins that one cleanly. Now we'll see how the Bears approach this. If they're going to be aggressive on defense. Pass for the cutter right down the middle. Over and back, as that did not touch anything. It was a pass, not a shot. So let's again see if the Bears just kind of work the ball, run this clock down. 3:35 remaining, up 5. Put it in the hands of your best ball handlers here. Let them operate in space. And Keith had a shot there. He split the defenders, but a little bit of a stick work there to knock it out. DeGuida. Now nobody's coming out on him, so he's just gonna sit there for a while. Waiting for the isolation here. Forcing wider and wider out. See if there's anybody going to cut. Or is DeGuida just going to try to break down his man here? There you go. He breaks him down. Get the push. Loose ball push. Ball will stay East Brunswick. If it would have worked, if DeGuida would have been able to penetrate right through without being pushed down to the ground, he had an open shot on goal. Loose ball push again. Oh, right on. Good save right in the midsection there, so I don't think that was a difficult save, but pursuit, the ride's on here. And a nice defensive play, Ethan Keith, to push the defender out of bounds. And no help there. Everyone broke downfield, left 26 for St. Joe's kind of out there on an island. And all he had to do was just kind of nudge him a little bit and get him to wobble the steps a little bit to that blue line. That's where they're playing here, on the blue lines. Okay, bring it in the box. Less than 2 minutes. Double teams coming. Nope, 26 is going to follow him across. .125 remaining. It would shock me unless you have a wide open opportunity here. It would shock me if there's a shot on goal. You're just going to see your experienced ball handlers here just take the ball and run around, waste as much time as possible. One minute left. Bears up by 5. And a silent realization, I think, coming over the St. Joe's bench that this game is over. That, you're not going to, unless you manage to knock the ball loose and score 5 times in 35 seconds, they're not going to tie this game. $20 seconds. All DeGree is doing is running back and forth between the 30 and the 10-yard line. Passes it out to Mark Budot. And that is it. 10-5. The Bears defeat St. Joe's. And it looked for a while there in that third quarter that St. Joe's had the momentum and then tying the game at 5. But the Bears go 5 unanswered to get the victory today and go to 3-2 on the season. TJ Lynch was the early star for the Bears, making lots of saves in that first half. Not called upon as much to do in the second half. He got kind of hung out to dry by his defense a couple of times. But the offense took over. Ben Solimini, Zach McHugh had a chance, Ethan Keith. So you had lots of good opportunities for the Bears. Again, 10-5. Wow. Again, a great day here at J. Doyle Field. Weather did hold out for the game, so we're glad that the EBTV, our technical crew here, could come out and set everything up for us. I'm Ken Saroka. Hopefully you have a chance to come out and watch the outdoor East Brunswick sports this spring. If not, EBTV is your home for East Brunswick High School athletics. Again, our final score, Bears 10, Falcons of St. Joe's 5. Have a good day.